what's up, studs, and welcome to Ask MandR, episode 323. This episode is sponsored by Whatnot, so more on them and what I'll be doing there later in the video. You guys probably know the drill by now. This is a series where I answer your questions. If you have a question or topic for next week's episode, drop it in the comments section below and hit the like button while you're there. Let's get into our first question from Gink Repberg. I hate the way YouTube does the @ names now. I'm going to be honest, it's made this series much worse. But he says, thoughts on the Mr. Beast drama? And it's so kind of him to finally ask. I've been waiting, dying to talk about the Mr. Beast drama. The chocolate? I've had it once. It's simply not that good. And that probably settles the drama for you guys. Next question from Maryland Sniping. He says, how did sets get leaked back in the early 2000s? How did you know what sets were coming out? I assumed it was based around the ads and instructions, but was curious about how you'd know about sets. So I can speak from both my personal experience in kind of the late 2000s is when I was kind of on the internet with LEGO Star Wars for the first time. But I've also done a good bit of research into the early 2000s, which is when I was born in 97. So I would have been 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. I was not on the internet. The internet was still pretty new. Like, I don't think we had a computer in our house until I was like 5 or 6, but maybe I'm wrong on that. The first LEGO leaks that I really remember seeing were the 2007 Republic Frigate, as well as the Hoth set that was the Toys R Us exclusive. And I just remember there were images of those that had leaked. And thanks to Brickshelf, a wonderful website, I was able to find the original advertisement that I think I saw back in the day, because I totally just remember looking at this. And you can see it's dated for March 31st, 2007. I think these sets didn't come out till June, maybe August, but they were like summer wave sets, I think. And this is how they leaked. I think it's from like a catalog or an ad for Toys R Us, because it has the visit your local Toys R Us at the bottom. And then I also think 2009 is the first time that I remember there being like a rumor list. I mean, I made one of the first LEGO Star Wars rumor videos on YouTube back in 2009. And so we had this rumor list of all the sets that were supposed to come out in 2010. We also would have Toy Fair leaks, like actual pictures from Toy Fair. And that would kind of be the big reveal for a lot of the sets for the year for a lot of people, as well as like retailer catalog leaks, which still happen to this day, just in a little bit of a different way. There definitely used to be like written rumor lists, and they would, from what I found, they would be on forums, and they'd be like, these are the sets coming out in 2004. There's a Millennium Falcon, and there's a Mos Eisley Cantina, and it would just be written out like that, and like 7 people might reply or something. I can't remember, but it wasn't like as hype, obviously, or anything close to the craziness that there is today. And because it's from like kind of relatively early internet, like there's not a huge history of it. It's not super easy to find. The last part of your question is like how soon you'd know about sets. We used to like see sets a lot sooner. I still feel like we know about sets, you know, they're rumored, text-based rumors, well ahead of time, just like they used to be. Like, that really hasn't changed in my opinion, but the time frame from when you see the set leaked to when it's actually going to be available on shelf has shrunk down considerably. I mean, we used to see sets 6, 7, 8 months before they would be released, and that I guess there's a couple examples I can think of in the past few years, but has really, really been clamped down on and happens very, very rarely at this point. Nathan says, what are your initial thoughts on Nike partnering with Leon next year? I assume you meant LEGO next year. I'm excited, but I have no idea what type of sets they would create. I don't think the Nike-LEGO partnership is about physical LEGO sets. I guess the Adidas partnership, we saw the one shoe and it sold horribly. I would imagine, I suppose, that they would maybe try like a Nike shoe or two. That might actually work out better than the Adidas one, who knows? They could also do a lot of like athlete-based things, like with Nike signed athletes. I don't know, like I'm just, you know, throwing things at the wall. I'm sure they have some sort of plan, but clothing is obviously what I think of Nike for in a lot of ways. And so I would imagine like you would actually get like Lego Nike like shirts, and they did a lot of that with the Adidas stuff. I'm so glad I have it up here. We have the Lego Adidas, you know, crossover there, and it's like this Lego llama. I have the pants too, but I'm not putting them on right now. It's like a tracksuit. I just assume Nike's gonna make a lot of clothes with Lego. That's what I thought when I first saw it. Is there a potential for sets? Could they do something way outside the box? Absolutely. But it kind of, I hope that a lot of it is going to be clothing based. I would love to get some really well done Lego swag, because you know, it's very hit or miss out there. They can make a lot of like cringy shirt designs, and I think having someone with like the expertise of Nike, and Nike, like, generally in my opinion makes cool things. I wear a lot of Nike, I buy a lot of Nike, and so I'm very, very hopeful that it will turn out to be a very good partnership, and we could maybe see some cool things out of it. D Jeff, quoting me from last week, says there's never been a May 4th promo with more than one figure, and he says, well, what do you call the droid carrier from this year? Well, yeah, you know, I keep them right here just in case. You never know when you're going to need a spare droid carrier. I see your point of view, but technically battle droids are not minifigures. LEGO doesn't call them minifigures. They very much do distinguish between droids and minifigs on their listings for sets. So, you know, take that as you will, but I firmly do not believe LEGO is capable of making a LEGO Star Wars promo with more than one minifigure. Look, I want to be proven wrong more than anyone else, but looking at the history of the theme, the possibilities of the things that they could do that they haven't done, and looking at all of the other themes that are doing promos with more than one figure, it just paints a picture. That's all I'm saying. That's why I said what I said, or framed it the way I framed it when it came to the May 4th promos. TJ Brick says, what are your thoughts on the UCS sail barge? Well, it'd be nice if we had a picture of it. Yeah. Remember when things used to leak a lot earlier, like I was just saying? So the sail barge comes out, when this video comes out, in like 19 days, and it will probably still have not been released, or revealed. So yeah, I mean, they're definitely cutting it a little bit close, but within modern LEGO standards, this release or reveal window is not too crazy. It'll be revealed probably like, what, 15 days before the set reveals or something, or 13 days before the set releases. I am mixing up the word reveals and release more times than I can keep track of in the last 30 seconds. But the point is, I'm pretty excited for it. I think it's got a lot of potential, and frankly, it's going to be pretty obvious. Like, the second I think everyone looks at this for $500, you're going to look at it and you're immediately going to go, ooh, that's tiny for $500. You're like, or you're gonna be like, all right, I'm in. And I think there's gonna be very little room in between. I think that just most people are gonna have a very quick snap of like, dang, that's small, or ooh, that's good. Like, I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know like what my reaction is going to be, or what many people's reactions are going to be. Like, if it's as big as the leak that we've had from before, then it's way too small for $500. I don't care about the part count. I don't remember what it is, like 3,000 something, but we'll see how big it is when the pictures leak. Ant Bandit says, what Star Wars video game would you most like to see an official set based on? Could be something classic or current. And actually, when I picked this question, I thought it said LEGO Star Wars video game, and that's kind of where my answer was coming from anyway. But also, like, 2005 Star Wars Battlefront would kind of have some fire sets if they made anything based on that. But I think LEGO could do like a killer classic LEGO Star Wars video game set. I don't know what, I don't know why, but I just feel like they could do something for 20 years of LEGO Star Wars games in a year or two. I think it would be next year, right? Because 2005 was the original game that came out. So I think they could totally do a pretty neat like celebration set, much like we're seeing with the battle pack that's coming out this year. That's like 25-year celebration. Like, imagine if they did a celebration of 20 years of LEGO Star Wars video games. I just feel like that would be a pretty cool set. So yeah, the original LEGO Star Wars video game would have to be the video game that I would want to see of Star Wars stuff made as a LEGO set, but I also recognize like the Force Unleashed and things are out there that could have really cool sets and have had really cool sets in the past. So I'm pretty pro anything LEGO Star Wars video game theme, just because we don't get a lot of it all too often. I kind of take my answer back. There is a vehicle from 2005's Star Wars Battlefront that is like a Rebel combat speeder. I've talked about it on Ask MandR before. It might have been 300 episodes ago. I don't know, but I know I've talked about it, and I would just love to see it as a LEGO set. I've just always wanted that speeder as a build. I just thought it would be sick, but they've never made it. We've got to take a minute to talk about today's sponsor, Whatnot. If you haven't heard of Whatnot yet, it's the ultimate live auction app where you can buy just about anything from sports cards to video games and, of course, LEGO. On top of winning auctions, Whatnot also has an ever-growing marketplace where you can buy things like LEGO Star Wars sets and minifigs at any time of day, even when your favorite streamer isn't live. I actually used it recently to buy this 2008 Rebel Scout Speeder Battle Pack so that I can use it to compare to the new version that's coming out in about a month. Now, I've got a couple incredible upcoming Whatnot shows in the month of September, including Friday the 13th at 6 p.m. Eastern, where I'm going to be selling all 3 of these very rare LEGO Star Wars tin sets from 2012, with the auctions all starting at just $1. And the LEGO Star Wars detention block from Star Wars Celebration 2017, also now at just $1. We've also got some very rare LEGO Star Wars trading card packs up for auction, and during that stream, I'm going to be giving away 5 LEGO Star Wars Jedi Bob Starfighters. Now, the following Friday, September 20th, also at 6 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be hosting my first ever Build Your Army stream. I recently found a lot of extra battle packs around my house, and I figured why not make it into one fun thematic stream. So that auction will be solely battle packs and army buildable figures, and throughout that stream, I'm going to be giving away 30 LEGO Star Wars minifig packs to help build your armies, as well as at the very end, a 2012 ARC Trooper battle pack. That's going to be an incredible giveaway. If you want to join in on that and you haven't signed up for Whatnot yet, use my link in the description below and you'll get a $15 credit to use on your first purchase to either get $15 off some very rare stuff or $15 towards building your army or to buy anything else from someone else on Whatnot. Anyway, I hope to see y'all there, and I'm super excited for some of these upcoming streams because it's not every day you get to auction some very rare things. Hootie Boy says, do you get most recordings on the first take without messing up, or do you have to get multiple to get it right? Now, when it comes to like making reviews and comparisons and things, I absolutely retake my voice recordings many times. Like, I definitely stumble over my words a lot. Obviously, you see the finalized, refined, finished product where everything's cut together nicely. The Kylo Ren. I always thought the next Falcon Lego would make. I always thought the next Falcon Lego. Next, I want to briefly discuss the art. Next, I want to briefly discuss. I am certainly not perfect at it, and I feel like it's actually something I've gotten worse at over time. They both look very cool. They both look very evil. They both look very evil, and they both look very, yeah, not great. But also, I think it's because I want the takes to be better, so I'll stop myself and restart too many times. And what is up, everyone? What is up, everyone? What is up? Hey, what's up, studs? What is up, studs? And welcome to Ask MandR, episode 300. What is up, studs? Angel says, will there be an employee exclusive set this year for the 25th anniversary of LEGO Star Wars? We got the 2019 Yuletide X-Wing in 2019, so possibly? No, absolutely possibly. I guess it could be any year. There could be just a Star Wars employee promo or gift with employment. I don't know. They could do a Christmas TIE fighter that would go really well with that holiday X-Wing from 2019. I think that would be super ideal to me. I would love to see that as a combo of builds. Hopefully they would also make the TIE fighter more in the style of Solo as far as like the size of the build and everything, so that it matched that 2019 X-Wing build better. Or maybe even a Darth Vader's TIE fighter and then like a Christmas Darth Vader figure included. Like, there's some possibilities there. Mr. Clam says, what are the chances that Mr. Beast gets his own Lego set? So yeah, we gotta wrap this back into some Mr. Beast talk. He's in Lego Fortnite, all right? So I don't think you can say it's 0. I know there's been a lot of drama, like real drama lately. I know I made the chocolate joke earlier. I think it's not 0. I think he could totally be just thrown into a Lego Fortnite set for fun. I also think they could make an entire line of Lego Mr. Beast sets of like scenes from videos. Like, I don't know if he had like the laser room, and you could have play sets based on Mr. Beast videos. Like, you just could. But also at the same time, with some of the recent drama, maybe that takes away from it. But I certainly would never say 0, and like the power of Mr. Beast is huge. The guy is just known worldwide. Like, if Lego made Mr. Beast products and Mr. Beast advertised it, like, just imagine the reach that has, right? Like, you're just getting kids from all over the world, and obviously he makes his videos in tons of different languages that also speak all of the, you know, literally all over the world, all the different languages. Like, you cover all of the markets all at once, like with Mr. Beast products, and it doesn't always work like that with a lot of other things. Expert Assassin says, bro, do a watch party for the Rebuild the Galaxy thing. So I haven't decided if I will or won't do that, but I know it's coming up. It would be like Friday at midnight, which kind of sucks because I think it would be on a school work night for a lot of people. But if I do it, I will post it on my Instagram story on like Thursday. I'll make an announcement on there and maybe on my YouTube community tab. So nothing concrete yet. I'm not 1,000% sure what I do or don't want to do with that. But I think a watch party could be pretty cool, you know, to chat with everyone while it's going down. Next question from Empire Films 99 says, would you rather Lego keep doing pupilless eyes or go back to doing the Clone Wars animated style eyes? So here's the deal. Clone Wars animated style eyes were done that way so that they were accurate to the Clone Wars, and they were only done for the figures that they were supposed to be accurate for. It's not like they made an episode 3 set and did Clone Wars eyes on episode 3 sets. I think 2013 is a great example. We had 2 sets with Obi-Wan Kenobi from episode 2 and the Clone Wars. And the Clone Wars version used the Clone Wars version of the eyes. And the episode 2 version used what we would just consider to be the normal style Lego eyes. And this is what I'm talking about with Lego nowadays. There's just no like common sense application of some of these design principles. And like, look, I'm not a design major, but like I can look at a thing and tell you I think it looks bad, right? Like I think we can all do that. I just look at a thing like the Clone Wars eyes, and I know people have their problems with them, but like they look like the Clone Wars eyes. Like that's what they're supposed to be, and that's what they are, and I just don't have a problem with that, frankly, versus this pupil, no pupil thing where everything gets no pupils, period, and it's just like, that's not how it should work. It's just not how it should work at all. I fundamentally disagree there. It was used sparingly in a couple other places like Grand Admiral Thrawn back in 2017, but to see it become so wide-reaching and applied to everything now just is brutal. I would take the Clone Wars animated eyes back because I think they're accurate and look like the thing they're supposed to look like. Next question from Bricks by Pat. So a lot of people are talking about the rumored 2025 Jango Fett. Are they? Are a lot of people? I don't know. I've been so out of the conversation, haven't I? Possibly rumored Jango Fett, but I haven't heard anyone mention the possibility of it being in the form of a mech set. How high do you think the chance is? I think the chance that Jango Fett would come in a mech is very low. I feel like they should make a set with Jango Fett that's a cool set. You know, I don't, like, mechs are a cool means to an end. If it's got to be the way we're going to get a Jango Fett and there's no other way possible, sure, I'd take it, I guess. Would everyone in the room not rather have a Jango Fett Slave 1? Gorilla Tube says, what do you enjoy collecting more, misprints or small boxes? So I think everyone knows what he's talking about when he says misprints, but maybe not everyone knows what he's talking about when he says small boxes. Back in the early 2010s, LEGO ran a bit of an experiment, I would say, to test out smaller box sizes than what they were currently offering for a ton of sets. I mean, obviously for Star Wars specifically, I collect a lot of them, and I'll get to that in a second. But they also did it for like Harry Potter, Prince of Persia, Pirates of the Caribbean. I think tons of sets at the same time, themes at the same time, maybe city. I haven't done all the research into all of it because it's frankly hard to research, and I don't really care about all the other themes. But small boxes, there's your like short, simple definition. When it comes to small boxes versus misprints, look, misprints are fun. I enjoy them. I've got a few, and they're cool, but nothing. I think nothing. I shouldn't say nothing. I never thought I would be this excited about it. Few things make me more excited than when I discover a new small box for LEGO Star Wars. It is something that I pride myself on the research of, because I feel like I am one of one in the field of LEGO Star Wars small boxes. Like no one else out there is looking for them. No one else out there is collecting them like I am. And I love the timing of you asking this question, because if you've been watching my MandR Vlogs YouTube channel, I've recently been going through a lot of my collection and kind of organizing it, making sure it's all organized and where it should be. And just in doing so, I've gotten all of my small boxes together for you here. And so all of these boxes that you see are actually smaller than what would be considered the normal version of the set. But there's no list out there that says, oh, this other set exists as a small box. And so over the past few years, as I've been looking for these, and it's within this like 2-year window. So like I'm searching within, you know, a bit of a parameter. But like I'll look up these set numbers and scroll through pictures online, through marketplaces, and just be like, looking at the box, and I will stare at these boxes for like minutes a time, you know, a box, and just try to make sure that it's the same exact dimensions. And a lot of the time, the tell is I'm looking for something like, is the laser blaster at the same part of the box? Like, does the laser blaster intersect with the W in Star Wars? Basically, as the boxes shrink or they've changed the proportions of the boxes that I own, like some of them are really obvious, like the battle packs or the Slave 1, like it's just super obvious it's a rectangle or it's a completely different shape. Some of them though are a lot more subtle, like Cad Bane Speeder, where you really got to pay attention to like where stuff is on the box. And so I just remember scrolling one day, looking through Cad Bane Speeder listings, and I think I dang near cried when I found that Cad Bane Speeder had a small box variant that existed. I immediately bought it, as I do basically any small box variant that I find that I didn't know existed for LEGO Star Wars, as you can probably tell. But, you know, it's one of the last sets I bought or got before my grandmother passed back in 2010, so like I just have, you know, huge sentimental feeling towards that set for that reason. And generally I get excited for all of them because it's just so cool and unique to me. It's just a fun subset of my collection that I feel like is a super unique thing. So that's a very long-winded way to explain that I enjoy collecting small boxes a lot more than misprints, just because of the uniqueness of the collecting to me. LEGO, if you have a list, hit me up. I'd love to see a list, but I doubt they'd ever do that for me, I guess. But final question from Million Max B. He says, what do you miss most most from back when your channel was smaller that you just can't do now? Greetings from Spain. Yo, shout out to Spain. Bro, that's so far away. But kind of a weird answer, I would guess. I would say maybe not what you would expect me to say, like, because I feel like, you know, as far as videos go, I can make all the videos I want just like I could have when my channel was smaller. I can like there's nothing else other than what I'm gonna say that I feel like is a really good answer to me personally, and that would be having an opinion. like I certainly can have an opinion. I do have my opinions. I still share them freely, like I do. Part of me feels like every time I just share something that I think is simple, I get attacked for it, and like that's not true of the vast majority of people. Like, you know, most of you guys are great and everyone's great and it's fine. But like on Twitter or Instagram DMs, you'll get like nasty messages, threats even about some of this stuff. Cause I'll say, you know, that I think LEGO lied about the Venator, right? Or the Rex and the Venator, cause it's in plain text, you know? And then people like will say, you know, you're only saying that for views. It's in plain text. I just said what I read, and what I read was a lie. And I said that that was a lie. And like, that's just an easy example for everyone, right? But I just feel like having an opinion as your channel gets bigger, or as your like internet presence gets bigger, because I think this is kind of an answer that might apply to a lot of other people. I'm not like, to tie it back into Mr. Beast, because I listened to some Mr. Beast podcast content a few months ago where he said something about this. You know, I am far from the level of I can't go to Walmart without being completely, you know, stopped in my tracks and followed around and like, I want your picture, Mr. Beast. Like, I'm in a way thankful I'm not at that level, because that sounds like a really tough time to like not be able to just go to Walmart. I like going to Walmart and getting my little chicken tendies.
But then you go from 10 million to 100 million, and next thing you know, when you go to Walmart, it's not like one photo or two. It's like someone asks for a photo and everyone else looks, and then like there's a line of 20 people. And then, you know, when you're checking out, there's like 5 people behind you, like, you know, what are you doing? What are you buying? Why are you buying those cookies? And it's like, just, you know, I just wanted to buy some cookies.
The main goods have been acquired. There's that level of problem to someone's life where it's like, you just can't do that now that your channel's not tiny. But that's Mr. Beast level, 100 million subscribers. Like, he can't go anywhere in the world without being like, hey, that's Mr. Beast, everyone look. So on my small scale of problems, I think it's like simply having an opinion. You just like, people try to like make you the devil for that. And it blows my mind, because like I know where like it's coming from. Like, I in my head know why I'm saying what I'm saying. But then you see other people like completely just extrapolating different reasons and making things up. And it's just like, oh, that's not true. Well, that's not true. And it's been happening for years. So it's just kind of like a, you know, answer of like nothing in particular anytime recent, but just something that I've noticed over the years. It's just like, if I say a thing and it's just like for the most obvious reason that I would say it, like it just is the way it is. Well, it's not that. He must be doing it for this or that reason. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? So that's what I miss the most about having a smaller channel, is not being constantly attacked for anything I have an opinion on about a LEGO set. It blows my mind. The flip side of that, obviously, is having built and having such a great, awesome community of people like you from frickin' Spain, bro. You know, just wonderful people. Everyone I meet IRL is amazing. So there's the flip side of that. I'm talking about a very small minority of people out there when I'm talking about that is my answer. And I know in my heart, and from what I see in comments and everything, that's the minority of people, and I know that's the reality. And so I don't get too worked up about it. I just block them and move on with my life, because that's the only thing you can do. So yeah, but that's my answer. It's just like having an opinion, I think, gets harder as your channel gets bigger, because everyone else wants to have a piece of that. You know how it goes. So anyway, guys, make sure you check out Whatnot with the link in the description below. You get $15 off your first purchase. And I think that's all for this episode. I just can't think of anything else that I need to touch on here. So if you have a question or topic for next week's episode, leave it down in the comments section below. And we'll see you next week. Bye.